So, yeah, man, fucking, you know what I've been really digging recently? Like, music-wise?
What?
Like, so, kind of shocking, but I've really been digging Billie Eilish.
Really?
Yeah, right?
It's alright.
It's kind of like out of a left field, like, choice for me.
I'm not going to tell you what I've been listening to when I'm by myself.
No, come on.
No.
I said Billie Eilish.
I've been listening to, fucking Eric Church Radio.
That's cool.
Yeah, I told you.
No,
I told you.
I said it's cool.
I told you.
I said it's cool.
Whatever. You know what? It makes me feel okay about myself.
No, I'm letting you have it. I'm literally not saying anything.
Stop trying to take this away from
I'm
me.
not
Yes,
taking,
I like country.
I'm not taking it away from you. We already had this conversation in our Guilty Pleasure episode. It's okay. And welcome back to the Punk Rock Horror Podcast.
There's no kink shaming here.
Eric Church is a kink?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm mad.
Hey, you know what? He has beautiful eyes. I'm Cody.
And today... Today, we're here to remind you to let people enjoy things that they enjoy.
That's right.
I'm letting you enjoy it. You can like Eric Church. It's okay. It's okay. You know, for all the hardcore... You know what? I will match yours. For all the hardcore things I listen to, because, like, I'll even listen to, like, Slaughter Prevail.
Yeah.
Like, I am a Cher fan. I actually have Cher songs on some of my playlists.
Okay,
Yeah, I fucking... Cher is the shit.
You know what? I like Cher, because I was saying, if you're a human being that says you don't sing along to Do You Believe in Love, like...
Okay. No matter how hard I try, you still give me a good breakthrough.
If you're not singing along to that, at least the chorus of Do you believe in life after love?
I can feel something inside the sea. I really don't think it's strong enough now. That woman is a badass. She has an award in almost like every single like artistic category.
I know.
And like looks fantastic for 70. Like she is a total badass. I like Cher. I'm gonna say it. I like Cher.
I like Cher.
I do like Cher.
Yeah.
So Cher's rad, man.
Yeah.
So she's the coolest. And talking about things that are cool, we have a few things to talk about today. One being our most popular segment, if not one of the most popular, is called Something We Love and Hate. And on this segment, we pick something that we love and we hate, and we just talk about it. Something that's happened that we recently, and we're just gonna vent about it. We're getting it all out in the open.
You know, I'm also kind of curious. Like, do you say like one of our most popular segments, as in like just to you and me, or like?
No, I actually have had people like talk to us and say that they love the things we love and hate segment.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I was like, I love this segment because
this is when obviously we're gonna love it because we're doing it and we still do it and we talk about it and it's fun. But no, I have had people talk about it with us and relate to us on it.
All right, cool.
So not every single thing we talked about, but some of them. But that's the point of Something We Love and Hate. It's just our point of views, things to vent on. And if you disagree with it, you are welcome to reach out to us on Twitter or our Facebook and let us know about it. Yeah. But let's, going forward, who went first last time? I feel like...
I think I went first.
What did we even talk about?
Dude, I don't remember. That was a while ago.
Yeah. God.
Just kind of out of left field. We do our corrections on our Monday episode. Sorry, we're recording this out of order.
Yeah. So, we're recording this in a backwards order today because right now we're doing episode 2 first. We normally do episode 1 first of the week. And the reason we're doing episode 2 is because we're actually wanting to go catch a movie tonight. We haven't decided what one just yet.
And also my computer decided to be a piece of shit.
Yeah, so this is the workaround. So I guess I'll go first. We'll start fresh.
Okay.
Or you know what? You sure you don't want to go first?
Why?
I feel like the week you've had, you need to go first more than I do. If you want me to go first, I still will. I know the listeners at the point are just like, somebody pick a fucking lane.
Just fucking go. Oh my god, you guys. All right, yeah, I'll go first. So, honestly, there's a couple things I love.
There's always a couple things you love.
I know.
Like, no offense, but do you realize that every time you always pick a couple things?
I know, but this one, So I had my entire birthday week off from work, which was really nice.
Which happy late birthday for all our listeners that are listening.
And also I hope y'all had a fun and safe 4th of July and celebrated Freedom Day, right?
Yeah, because it's like the day this episode is
after the 4th.
Unless you're on a Patreon, then it came out on the 4th.
On the 4th, and happy 4th to the patrons.
Ooh.
But so that entire week, it was so nice. Like I went and got new ink, which I was super excited about. Got a new tattoo. Got a Captain America on my calf.
Yeah.
Which I was really excited about. I've been wanting to get a Captain America tattoo for a long time.
A Captain America.
Captain America. No. My party turned into a huge rager.
Oh, man.
Fuck, man. I wasn't expecting that. Because last year was so low-key. Like, I invited about the same amount of people, but last year...
You had a fun birthday, man.
Yeah.
I had a blast, too.
A lot more people learned about sadomasochism.
I mean, party. Is it a Cody birthday if we don't learn about it?
You know, it's just greatest
That's
thing
why
ever.
everybody comes to have the grouply discussion about sadism.
Yep. So we got front row viewing of that.
Yeah. You had to be there, man.
I feel like all but the 3 people involved were uncomfortable.
You had to be there.
Yeah.
That's all I could say. You had to be there.
So, yeah. But other than that, the party was great. I got new ink. Got to hang out with a lot of friends I haven't seen in a while. And also my usual group. And it was just nice not being stressed out all the time.
Right. Gotta let loose.
Yeah. And my mom definitely stayed that week. Love my mom. She's going to be on here. She's definitely my number one part of the thing that I love this week because I was having so many problems with my car and then just other financial things, and I was like, I called and vented to my mom, like I just blew all the money that I saved for my birthday like a day before my week off.
Well, and you talked about that too, and that was like really nice that she
she saved me that money and saved my birthday.
That was really nice of her.
I got my fishing pole that I said I was gonna get.
Pole.
So I'm gonna go fishing this summer. But yeah, all in all, like that week was good. It was fun, and I saw Child's Play. Oh my god, it's good.
Yeah,
the remake is so good.
Yeah.
If you were iffy about it, like believe me, I was hardcore hating on this film when I heard it was getting released and everything. I was like, God, oh my god, because Chucky's one of my favorites.
Sorry,
I was gonna say Chucky's like. My second favorite horror icon behind Freddy Krueger, and I was so mad that they were like. And I heard the synopsis of it, like, this movie's going to be shit.
Yeah.
And it was really fucking good.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is amazing.
Oh, well, yeah. Because he's great at playing the psychotic characters.
Yeah, but, like, the writers and I feel like the writers knew exactly who they wanted to be in the movie before they even, like, and because the actors.
So you're saying it was, like,
solid.
perfectly cast.
Yeah, like, Audrey Plaza, like, still did her Audrey Plaza thing, but she was fantastic as Andy's mom.
Okay, good.
Like, it wasn't, like, to the super extent that she normally, does her thing, but it was really good. Yeah, and then also, I got Little Nightmares. It's a side-scrolling game in the kind of the vein of Limbo. And so if you're a huge fan of Limbo and, like, old-style horror movies, like, it plays homage to, like, It and all kinds of other, like, things like that. The guy kind of is one of the villains is kind of a mix between, like, Slender Man and someone else. He has the long dangling arms and stuff. It's a really good game. And so if you liked Limbo and the games like that, the side-scrolling puzzle platformer type things, where, like, there's no actual combat.
I'm trying to think of what the guy looks like. They said he's like Slender Man, but he has long dangling arms.
He has the long dangling arms.
So all I'm thinking of is Freddy Krueger from, like, the first, like, Nightmare on Elm Street movie, where he's, like, in the alleyway with a...
Well, he has a Freddy hat. Yeah, I know. This is God now. But, like, he has a little hat. He has, like... He's the monster from Pan's Labyrinth. That's the one I was thinking of, because you can only follow you through sound.
With the eyes?
Yeah, the eyes.
On the hands? Okay.
So, but it's really, really good game. So if you like those games, I highly recommend it. It's on sale on the Switch right now for like $4. So it's really good horror game. And it's mostly just like the atmosphere that makes it really, really intense. So, but yeah. Yeah, I think that's all the things I love for the most part that I can remember anyways. But anyways, like the things I hate... I got another game called Fall of Light, and unless you're a sadomasochistic Dark Souls lover, you'll hate this game. I got so fucking mad, dude, because I was all excited. I was like, cool. It's going to be like I really wanted another, like, Diablo style, but single player. Like, it was all just, I mean, I know you could play Diablo single player. It's fun single player, but, like, it was all, like, a campaign built around the single player, but it was still top down like Diablo, like, not completely, but, like, to tilted one, and you're following this map and stuff like that. And the second I got to the save point and read exactly what it said, instead of bonfires, because you're carrying this little child of light with you, it's also a giant escort mission, and fucking I got to the, like, this shrine that you pray at, and that's how you heal yourself. And you pray, and it was like, and also all the enemies that you have killed will come back. And I got, the second I saw that, I flipped the fuck out. I was like, God damn it. And the difficulty spike and everything. It's just goddamn Dark Souls thing.
Is it like the classic case of like getting something that you weren't expecting, like you were expecting something different?
Yeah, I was expecting something different from, like, I even read the description and stuff. I should have, like, did a little more research on it, but yeah, so there's that, and then it just kind of feels like everything was breaking on me in the past couple weeks. Like, my computer just died, so that's why we're also recording this episode first, so all of our notes for the first episode fucking went kaput.
So we have to do research again.
Yeah. My car's, like, every time I take my car to Grease Monkey, they keep telling me I need to replace my entire oil pan, but, like, all of my mechanic friends are like, no, don't fucking do that. You just need to, unless you're leaking oil, your oil pan's fine. You probably just need to replace a gasket. So it's just, like, every which way I turned this past couple weeks, especially after I got back from my vacation.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like everyone's trying to nickel and dime me. Like, and I'm just like, oh my fucking God. Like, come on. Can I just, like, ease back into life for once from a vacation? Because it doesn't matter, not even just a vacation. Whenever, like, I have a really, really fun time, it seems like the next day or the day after, just something has to shit on it hardcore.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, this is fucking getting ridiculous, man. It's like, can I just not be stressed out for once?
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
It's always That's always sucks when you like, you can't ease back into everything coming back from a vacation.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And so, like, that's just been the most frustrating thing. Because, like, I have a free, I won tickets to a comedy show. Well, I didn't win them, but for my birthday, the Comedy Works called me up and said, hey, do you want these free tickets for your birthday? And it's for tomorrow night. We're recording on the 29th. It's not for the 30th. And I can't go now because I can't afford the gas to go down and stuff like that. And I was just like, come on, man. Like, fuck.
Ugh.
So, it's just like, it feels like whenever you come back from, like, a vacation or just, like, some downtime to, like, finally, like, de-stress, just everything piles back on, like, instantly.
Well, it'll get better, man.
Fucking hopefully, man.
It will. It'll get better. I know it will. It's in the clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get better.
So
I promise. So for the thing I hate this week, and I always pick the dumbest, pettiest things that make me angry, but this is also kind of a big thing that makes me angry. So the thing that makes me angry this week is that there's this whole backlash against Toy Story 4, with it not being diverse enough, and it annoys me for two reasons. One, it's purely a movie made for kids. Like, yeah, obviously there's fans that you've grown up with it, but it's also mainly directed towards kids. So to go out and make a whole like diversity issue of a kids movie is just very asinine, and I think it's very ignorant within itself, and I think it's a prime example of an extreme left version, a leftist party, as we see extreme versions of right wing parties. We see extreme versions of left wing parties, and I think this is an extreme version of the left wing party. It's supposed to be a kids movie, and that's where it's supposed to be at. And I think it's so asinine to bring a whole diversity, forced diversity class to it, and that's what I'm going to call it, is forced diversity, because it's what it is. When you're trying to force diversity within a movie, it really taints the movie, and it puts a bad mouth and it puts a bad taste in everybody's mouth. I'm all for diverse casts in movies and shows and whatnot, but when it's supposed to just be a kids movie, I mean, what's the big deal? I mean, more often than not, when Pixar or Disney make something, they usually include a fairly diverse cast, but just because they have toys that are quote unquote mostly white, like they're fucking toys. Like that's where it's dumb. It's so dumb that we're getting mad about this. Just let it go and enjoy the fact that it's just a movie. Like, this isn't like some sort of period piece. Like, if it was, a period piece of some sort, like maybe if it was like focusing like on the life of Malcolm X or something like that, and they had a white male actor cast as Malcolm X, then yeah, like I totally get like the outrage that would have. But when it's just supposed to be a fictional story about toy characters, like I mean, really, like it doesn't it take away from the main message of the story already? It just trying to get mad about the fact that there isn't diversity, well, quote unquote diversity within it. I mean, Pixar's barely said anything about people getting mad about it, and I think that's because they know that it's a dumb thing to be mad about, and that's just the truth. I mean, I'm not sitting here trying to be ignorant and say that all classes of minorities don't deserve don't deserve some representation, but when it's just meant to be a movie for kids, it's I mean, let it go. It's not a big deal. There's worse things in this world, and there's bigger issues to get mad about, and I think it's really asinine, and it hurts the whole movement for diverse characters and positive diverse characters within movies. I think it really hurts that whole movement. So I don't know. That's where I'm at. I wish people would get mad about the things that matter, and that they can actually control, instead of getting mad about a movie. I mean, that's the climate we live in. It's I'm mad. It's dumb, and I wish people wouldn't be so dumb about this. So yeah, if I guess if you're someone who got mad that there isn't quote unquote diverse characters in Toy Story 4, just get over it, man. That's all I can say. So the thing I love is I'm gonna kind of like go the route that you're going, but mine's only gonna be two things.
I know, I always had.
So I actually loved your party. Reason is because Anna came, and it was like fun to just like hang out with her, and like I did one of the few things with her that I cherish as a bonding moment with anyone, and that's we literally just like shared music with each other.
Yeah,
and that is like one of the coolest experiences I enjoy doing in my life, because I know everyone has that personal taste of like, oh well, I know what good music is. Like everyone feels like they know what the good music is, but the real test of that is to just actually like share each other's music. And like me and her just like sat in a corner and just like kept like trading artists. Yeah. And like I just really enjoy that, because it was actually like a legit moment of like appreciating an art form and like sharing it with another person. And it like she showed me some music. One band I really liked is Lightburns. They're really cool. They're very unknown. They're very underground, and I like them a lot. Yeah. One band I showed her was not only like Not Code Medicine for the People, but like Sleep Token.
Nice.
Like Sleep Token's really rad. I showed her Astronoid. Like I'm always gonna like promote that band. I really hope that band hears that I love them and wants to come on this show.
I hope I didn't ruin it with my Goku Superman.
Yeah, the Astronoid's gonna be like, we were gonna come on, but we're strong believers. And that Goku could meet some Reddit. We just, after what Cody said.
Nope, we're done.
You can blame him, man. But no,
either we're on, or he's out, or no one.
Well, but no, it was a really cool bonding moment, because it's like one of those few things as like a species where we can actually connect and like actually like bond over something, and I just enjoy that, man, when you can just sit with someone and share music and grow from there. That's really rad. Second thing, I want to give a shout out. So there's this artist on Instagram that I follow called Savage Soul Customs, and she makes a lot of like awesome like keychains inspired by like horror. So like she made one in the vein of Friday the 13th. Yeah. So it's the mask of like Jason Voorhees. Yeah. Like hiding in Crystal Lake. By the way, it's on my Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram, see the pictures at the Undead Matt. But I reached out to her, told her I loved her keychain, and then I got to get one for myself, and she I bought it from her. It was awesome, and like if you go over to her page, like she has like all these ones about Chucky and like Frankenstein, Beetlejuice, and just like a lot of classic like horror icons that she makes herself, and I just thought it was the most awesome thing.
Or like they got the Trick or Treat Kid.
Yeah, they have the Trick or Treat Kid,
that one.
the Pumpkin Kid. Yeah, they have. She makes like.
No shit, and Misfits.
Yeah, she made a Misfits one. She has a lot of them. So if you're on Instagram, please go follow and support Savage Soul Customs. It's all like she's a resin artist. It's awesome. She makes a lot of great horror stuff, and I can't keep. It's just she's badass. Please check her out, Savage Soul Customs. And if you want to see what she did, the keychain I bought from her, you can follow me on Instagram at @TheUndeadMatt. But so yeah, with that being said, we are now gonna jump into our movie reviews. So if you're new to the show and you don't know how we do this yet, every Friday we pick out 2 movies that are related to our Monday theme that we feel were horribly overlooked and deserve more attention. These are horror movies that we are suggesting you to watch and give a second chance and open your mind to. So obviously this week's theme is about Americanized remakes of foreign horror films.
Because America Week.
America Week.
Freedom Week.
Freedom Week. So I think you went last time too, because I did Frailty and you did Quarantine.
Yeah, I went first.
Yeah, so which was funny because I kind of realized when this week that you could have done Quarantine as well for this one. Because it's a Spanish film.
Yep.
So yeah. So I decided to.
I know. I actually both my movies. Erin's probably livid with me.
Yeah, I told her. I told her that you loved the original, or not the original, the remake of Friday the 13th. That she definitely had to swallow the saliva moment.
Fuck you, Erin. It was decent. Okay, it was decent. If
you look, man, it's really funny. It's really funny.
It was decent. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still prefer the originals, but I didn't hate on it.
Well, now that Erin's coming out with her own show on our network here,
it's basically I feel like there's gonna be 2 minutes out of every show just me and her shitting on each other because of our choices.
She during her show, she's gonna be like, "And by the way, Cody, Friday the 13th still fucking sucks." All right, this is Paranormal Princess. Bye.
All right, Erin. You know what? Fucking.
Start tallying it.
You know what?
Every time you guys shit talk each other.
I was so close to saying something I knew I'd regret because it hurt. It would hurt.
Yeah, don't need to go that far. Wow. Yeah,
fuck it. Tiffany wasn't a good character to add in.
Oh no!
She was better. Okay, here's my reason. In the first one, I liked her in the first one, but the fact that they kept using her as a doll in the Seed of Chucky, and then I don't know. She's my least favorite fucking character in it.
Oh man, fists are gonna fly.
I'm lying, Erin. I love Tiffany. Jennifer Tilly's amazing.
He's just trying to get back at you.
I really am.
That's funny. So anyways, going into my movie review. Anyways, all the shit talking aside.
Now she's going to be like, you know what? I don't want to be on your fucking show anymore.
He doesn't mean it, Aaron. My movie. So the movie I decided to do was the movie 13 Sins, which is directed by Daniel Stamm and written by David Burke, and screenplay also done by Daniel Stamm. Stars Mark Webber, Devin Gray, and Tom Bauer. And it's about this man who receives a cryptic phone call which sets off a dangerous game of risks for Elliot. A down-on-his-luck salesman, the game promises increasing rewards for completing 13 tasks, although each one is more sinister than the last.
I like how you always modify IMDb.
Because sometimes their summaries are shit.
I know. I mean, I agree.
No offense, IMDb. I love you, but you just got to be more on top of
the
it.
Best.
Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're right at the point. You're right on it, and just sometimes it just you miss it for me. Yeah. And we got to talk about this.
Yeah. I will say I tried watching this movie once. I only got halfway through.
Yeah, but it wasn't because you were getting bored of it. It was because
I just got too intense. So at the time when I tried watching this movie, I don't know how to explain it, but I know, or the actual termage for it.
Cringe.
I know, not cringe. It wasn't the cringe factor. It's when you relate way too much to a character in a movie.
Yeah.
And so when they're doing terrible things that they're feeling embarrassed, you feel it too.
Yeah, that's
you feel off it.
Yeah, that is a cringe feeling. Yeah,
yeah.
That is
so
cringe.
it just got too much for me when it got to a certain point.
Like you're just like, oh god.
Just right when I saw the message that they sent him of his next task, I was like, nope.
Yeah, I had a hard point with that too. I had to remind myself that it was all fake, like it's a movie, because like there was a few points where I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, you're just like,
fuck. so to kind of explain a little more on what we're talking about. So as the summary says, Elliot, our protagonist, receives a phone call, and basically the phone call is, if you complete these challenges, we will deposit this amount of money into your bank account. Each challenge is more difficult, but he gets more money. Yeah. So how it starts out in this movie, Fantastic Pro has a great opening scene where there's this gala, or it's a ball, or it's just a big, huge, like, fancy dinner, and we see an old man coming up to the podium, and he's like making really bad tongue-in-cheek jokes.
Yeah.
And then like he cuts his finger off, and like you can see that he's distressed the entire time, like is like holding back, doesn't want to do it. And then after he cuts his finger off, security comes in, and like as security's like, don't reach into your coat, the man is reaching into his coat to grab a phone, but they think he's grabbing a gun.
Yeah.
Shoots the old man because they think he's grabbing a gun.
Yep.
Lays him out. And we're left the scene with a phone playing a very Ringling Brothers circus theme type of song going. Yeah. So it's very foreshadowing and very sinister sound. And then the credits happen, and then I'm just going to throw in the con really quick. It's too long of a opening credit scene, and I'm always going to point it out when every horror movie does this shit. Foreboding is not entertaining. Like, it was doing up-close pictures of, like, the corporation behind these challenges, and it's just, like, directed by, screenplay by, assistant to the assistant by. And I'm just like, for fuck's sake, like, we don't need a minute-long intro of opening credits. Like, foreboding is not entertaining. Like, if you're gonna go for foreboding, make it entertaining, but don't only rely on it being foreboding. Yeah. Please. Like, this is where I'm at, so I'm pointing at the con now.
I was just gonna let you keep going. I was like, just let him get out of his system.
I'm gonna point out every fucking time. If you're gonna do an opening credit scene, make it entertaining. Again, Ginger Snaps is a great fucking example. I know I brought it up last movie review, but I swear to God.
Okay.
Sorry. So, anyways, the movie continues on, and then we see our protagonist Elliot, getting ready to go to work. He's going to ask for a promotion. His girlfriend, who is played by Rutina Wesley, which, if you're not sure who that is, she played a Tara on True Blood. Okay. And so I was really happy to see that, because I'm like, I haven't seen her anything since True Blood, and so I was so happy because she's a fantastic actress.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's his fiance, pregnant by the way, and he goes to this interview, and his boss basically fires him, because he made a lot of sales, but he didn't produce enough.
Yeah.
And so they sell insurance policies and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like
that's how they jab you.
Yeah, and he's like, his boss is like, you can't produce, and he's like, well, you talk someone out of a gold policy, and he's like, well, yeah, that wasn't the right policy for her. I didn't want her to feel like we're taking advantage of her. And he's like, and his boss is like, oh, so you think we take advantage of people? So right off the bat, you're sympathizing with Elliot, oh, you get it, man. And Elliot's like, he's like, you're fired. And he's like, I need this job. I still, my brother, you may be aware of, is mentally challenged, and I have to take, I have to be able to pay, his outpatient bills, or else they're going to take him back and put him back into assisted living. And I have a fiance that's pregnant. And we're trying to get married, and he's like, and his boss looks at him, and he's like, those are the exact reasons why you don't have the balls to get your hands dirty. And then you're just like, oh, fuck, man.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, so you're just feel for Elliot the entire time, and I'm just like, oh, God, this is going to be this is going to be a long movie.
Yeah.
This is going to be rough. So Elliot eventually gets, the call from this corporation, and is just like, if you kill this fly, we'll deposit $1,000 into your account right now. So he does, and then they're like, okay, well, now if you eat the fly, we will deposit $3,000.
Yeah.
And so another pro is that Elliot is smart. What I like that he did is that he went home and actually checked his bank account to make sure the money was in first and that it wasn't just like a prank call. And so when he did, then he ate the fly and then he got the $3,000. But he's smart. I like that about him. And so to give a little like background about this movie. So this movie's originally made in Thailand. It's a Thai movie, and it was meant to be a comedy horror, the original version. The Americanized version is more of a thriller. Yeah. Or it tries to be. For me, I still think it kept a lot more of its comedy themes throughout the movie.
Dude, I didn't laugh at all when I was watching.
I must be a terrible human being then. Because there was a lot of times I kept laughing.
Well, I haven't tried watching this movie in years, so I can't remember if I was laughing. I just remember the one scene where I was just like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought it was really funny.
I'm getting too attached in this movie. I need to stop.
Well, one scene that happens. So as the challenges are getting more and more intense, they offer, I think, to pay him $5,000, but he has to make a kid cry.
Yeah, okay, I laughed at that one.
Yeah, so
that was funny.
So he goes up to this cut dry little girl who's wearing a little I don't know how
outfit.
It's not pink. It's it's kind of one that you would see in one of those stock photos.
Yeah.
Of kid models, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know a good way to explain it, but anyway, she's skipping down a bridge la tra la 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 la. And so he gets up in front of her and he's like, your parents hate you. You can tell he hates it the entire time. And then he hates that he has to talk to his kid. He's like, your parents hate you and you're adopted. And and he's trying to be mean, make her cry, and he's like, see, they're talking about getting rid of you right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, Mommy, and he's like, I'm so sorry. So it's just him trying to make this kid cry is really funny. And then there's a scene later on in the movie where he has to destroy his own rehearsal venue.
Yeah, see, that's where I stopped.
It actually gets really funny because it goes to a whole slow-mo, him taking the mic stand and breaking the tables and destroying the glass and peeing on the flowers and it seems like a scene out of The Hangover or something. It's really funny. I laughed at it. So and to some people it also might be a con that it's definitely more of a comedy than a thriller. But I still liked it. So even one other thing that I love about this movie is that Ron Perlman's in it. So Ron Perlman's in it. He plays an investigator, and I like it. Ron Perlman's a pro for me. He's a pro. Yeah. So Ron Perlman in himself is in this movie, and that's a pro. So I love that. It's just fantastic. So another scene in this movie that also just made me laugh my ass off is there's this cop scene in the movie where he basically has to go take it. I won't give the whole scene away because it makes it funny, but he has to go take a guy who's incapacitated to get coffee at some point in the movie, and when he does, there's 4 cops that come in and can arrest the dude for why he can arrest Elliot for why he brought an incapacitated guy to this restaurant to have coffee. Yeah. And so he has to have coffee in front of the incapacitated guy he brought to the diner by 4 p.m. So he grabs the coffee from the cops and puts the cup down in front of the guy, and they're like, "Do you got a problem, guy?" And so Elliot gets up, pays for the coffee, he's trying to get out, and he's the cops are trying to stop him, and he notices one of the cops has an open flask, and he's like, isn't that against code 3 something to be drinking on the job? And catches the cops trying to arrest him and be like, I know you're drinking. Yeah. You're drinking on the job, I can use that against you. And that whole scene was just gold with how intense it was. So I really I just love that scene. Another thing is that probably this is one of the few horror movies that does a really good job of balancing a comedy and drama aspect. Yeah. Because it's definitely more of a dark comedy. And so when it needs to get dramatic and has its sad moments, it does a really good job of that. You see this very apparent in the scene where a few motorists get killed. Yeah. And Elliot tries to prevent it from happening. Mm-hmm. That's just one really good scene of the drama and comedy balance. And this movie has this whole message within it, and before I get to that message, I do want to say this movie is a solid 4 out of 5 buckets of gore. So to explain how I rate gore is not only how much blood is within the movie, but also how well the kills are done. Yeah. So the way he kills and takes off body parts in this movie is just fucking splatterfest, blood everywhere, like limbs flying, and I enjoy it the entire time. And the thing is that it happens very sparingly throughout the movie, but when it happens, it's just a what the fuck kind of moment. Like, yeah. So it definitely got a 4 out of 5 buckets of gore. With that being said, like, this movie is like a huge lesson of like, what if the assholes in our lives are being ordered to be assholes in our lives? Yeah. So because this corporation is basically asking Elliot to do very asshole things, making kids cry, get coffee in front of a stranger by taking it away from cops, destroy your own wedding rehearsal venue. Yeah. Like, these are very asshole things, like, seem like out of nowhere. Like, why would somebody who's normally good-natured or just kind of quiet do something like this? Well, maybe there's someone behind it all pulling strings, because the whole premise is he can't talk about the corporation. He can't talk about why he's doing the challenges. Yeah. So because every challenge he does, he gets more money. But the way he loses is if he tells anybody what he's doing, or if he intervenes in completing any of the challenges. Yeah. Like, so he can't talk about it. Yeah. So, like, as it unfolds, there's this really, really great... Well, there's a lot of great twists. I'm only going to give away one, because I really want you to watch this movie, and I am using this to guilt you, to kind of get you to watch the movie, Girls and Gals. So, one of the great twists, and if you don't want me to spoil it for you, I am going to... Spoiler! It is the spoiler part. If you don't want me to spoil it for you, go ahead 2 minutes within the recording in 3, 2... Alright, so the twist that we find out is that this corporation has been around for centuries upon centuries. Yeah. And when Ron Perlman's character finds someone who was once part of the challenges, and found out about the conspiracy behind him, finds out, like, major events in history, like JFK's assassination, was because, like, this corporation challenged someone to assassinate JFK. So this corporation's been pulling the strings the entire time. So much so that we find out that, it's early on in the movie that we find out that even Elliot's character and his brother, like, they're without their mother. Their mother died when they were young. Supposedly the father was drunk and, like, crashed into a light pole, killing the mother. Yeah. We find out that the father was actually a contestant as well within this whole entire, like, corporation challenging them. And he, like, the 13th sin, which is always going to be the most notorious sin, and the biggest one to do, is always going to be the hardest one, but you get the biggest payoff. Because we found out that, his father, like, got this foundation, like, got his whole house for, like, $6.5 million. Yeah. Right? That's the money he got for completing all the sins. His last 13th sin was to purposely kill his wife. Damn. So when the brothers find this out, like, all shit breaks loose. And it's just like, how deep does this whole conspiracy go? Like, how deep... This would have been a great conspiracy film, too. Yeah. Like, for our conspiracy episodes. But, like, like, you find out that this corporation's, like, deep inside, and it gets really unsettling, because it's, as they're trying to answer why this corporation's making people do this, it comes down to, these are people with mass wealth and power, and they're just bored. Like, that's kind of terrifying, right? It's just people with power who are just bored, making poor people do terrible things. So, this is the end of the spoiler. So, thank you for listening to that, if you listen to it. Last pro I'm going to give this movie is that it has probably one of the saddest endings in a horror movie I have ever seen.
Is it sadder than Mist?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, I will argue. I will argue it's sadder than Mist, because it hits on the whole desperation of, like, wanting to survive. Yeah. Like, element of humanity. And it's so sad. And I don't want to give it away, because it's such a sad scene. But please check out this movie. I loved 13 Sins. I got into it right away as soon as it started. It's definitely one of the best Americanized remakes of a foreign horror film, and I will stand by that. You can meet me in the parking lot and we can fight. But it's such a fantastic movie. It's on Netflix right now, so don't pass it up. It's also available to rent for $3.99 on Amazon, and for purchase for like $5.99. So please check it out. It's a really great movie.
It might still be on Netflix too.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it should still be on Netflix at the time of this recording. So, a few interesting facts. So, Perlman did not see the original film as he did not want it to influence his performance. That seems like a very Ron Perlman thing to do.
Yeah.
That seems like too much work.
That's why he didn't read the Hellboy comics.
So, there were 2 endings that were shot. One, a more upbeat ending and highly nihilistic ending, and the alternate ending is available on the Blu-ray release. This was also George Coe's final film before his death in July 18th, 2015, at the age of 86.
Damn.
So, much respect and rest in peace to George Cole on that. And the film is a remake of the 2006 film 13 Beloved. Those are literally the only trivia facts. There's only 4 for some reason. So, but yeah, please check out this movie. Check out 13 Sins now. It's definitely worth the time. You're going to cringe at a lot of the scenes, but it's totally worth the entire ride. Give it a shot. It's just worth your time.
I'll have to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it's worth it, man. It's worth it.
So, mine's another very controversial pick, but I definitely think that this movie, I loved this movie when I first saw it. Like, it was it was weird, because, like, I remember when I first saw it, like, I was a little disappointed in what happened, because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Like, I remember the commercials for this movie. I haven't said it yet.
It was definitely more of a romance.
Oh, yeah. But, like, I remember the trailers for this movie made it seem like it was going to be kind of like Daybreakers. You know, just super dark, intense,
right.
Well,
I think it kind of came out in the same time, too.
2008.
Yeah, I will look that up.
I can't remember. Hold on. 2010. Sorry. So, I did Let Me In. It is the American remake of, oh my god, Let Me Inside, right?
Yeah, it came out a year after Daybreakers.
Okay, yeah, so I was expecting something like that. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting the fucking name. Let Me Inside, I'm pretty sure is...
No, it is Let Me Inside.
Okay, yeah, that's the...
No, it's Let the Right One In.
Oh, Let the Right One In. Sorry.
No, that's cool.
It's a rough day today. Or, it's been a rough week. But anyway, so, yeah, it's remake of the Let the Right One In. The synopsis is a bullied young boy befriends a young female vampire who lives in secrecy with their guardian. It was direct... Wow, that kind of, like, spoils a good chunk of the movie.
Well, kind of.
Just saying. Well, you don't find out she's actually a vampire until, like, way late. Unless you already knew watched the remake. So if you were brand new to this,
well, it also I will argue that it does give it away early on.
Not too early.
For our experienced horror sleuths, it does give it away. But there is more to it than just her being a vampire. Anyways,
yeah,
I'm taking it away from you, man.
It was directed by Matt Reeves. It was a Matt Reeves film.
Yeah, I know.
And written by Matt Reeves. He did I'm guessing he did the American one, and John.
Do you want me to try
Ajivide Linguiste. I don't know. It's French.
Well, if the J is silent, it's Avid.
Avid. Okay, whatever. It stars Cody Smith McPhee, Chloe Grace Moretz. Sorry.
It's okay.
And Richard Jenkins.
Oh, good old Richard Jenkins.
Yep, Mr. Richard Jenkins.
Mr. Richard Jenkins, because he's also in Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah. He's also the dad in Step Brothers.
Yep. Yeah. I love Richard Jenkins.
You know what's funny is Richard Jenkins, such a great actor,
that
but
dude
he's one of those. But he's one of those guys where, more times than not, you know his face, but you never know his name. And when Burn After Reading,
yeah,
is that the one that came out? The one with Brad Pitt? And,
where he's like in the
workout gear,
jogging suit, dancing.
So when that movie came out, Richard Jenkins, he was on one of the talk shows, and he was just like, "Yeah, I know I'm one of the everyone knows my face, but no one remembers my name."
Oh,
yeah, like he acknowledges that. But what are you doing?
I was gonna find like some like Cliffits to help you out. But anyways,
okay. Anyways.
I fucking love that dude. Has such a wide acting variety. He can totally do comedy. He can do horror. He can do serious films. Richard Jenkins is the dope. That would be a great guest if we could have him on here.
Yeah, it would. Like I'd poop myself.
Richard Jenkins is shit.
But yeah. So anyway, I really love this movie. I'm winging it because all my notes are on my laptop and it's gone. So,
Yeah, but I'm gonna help fill the gaps as needed.
The thing, the beginning, I hate the beginning. So it kind of does the foreboding thing, but it also kind of just jumps right into it.
Yeah.
And which is really nice, and it's really cool. Like the beginning, you just see, you hear the ambulance. You just see an ambulance, and it goes inside the ambulance. You see this guy freaking out.
Yeah.
And they're trying to calm him down and stuff like that. And they bring up how he has burns over 90% of his body from some kind of acidic material.
Yeah.
And he's just freaking out. And the cool thing I like about it is you never see his face.
No.
You only see quick glimpses of like the burn marks and his burns and stuff.
Well, and even
then
he did the acid. Anyway, sorry.
I'm not there yet, sir.
Sorry, I just like this movie too.
Yeah.
You're gonna be all excited.
So then he gets to the hospital. He's in his hospital bed and everything. And you see this cop come up, and he's like, "I need to talk to him." And they're like, "He can't fucking talk, man. Like he has acid. He burned acid all over his like body and stuff." But he's like, "I just need to speak with him." And so the cop puts down a notepad, and he's like, "Are you some kind of part of some dark cult?" Or part of he starts grilling him about like a cult and all this other stuff, like really quick. It's really quick, and it's like really quiet when he does it. But then he gets called away, and then he's talking on the phone. He starts asking about a daughter. They're like, "What do you mean he has a daughter? He has a daughter. She was here. What does she look like?" And then a nurse runs into the room. He runs back into the room, and you see the guy threw himself out the window. And so, but then does the one thing that I hate the most in almost every movie 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah.
Because, I'm just one of those people, it's just like the fucking, Purge episode from Rick and Morty, where Morty's like, why would you just start, 6 months in the future? Why don't you, why just start from the beginning and show it all the way through? But I like how they did it in this movie.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense of what's happening, because you just see on his notepad, it says, "I'm sorry, Abby." And you're like, oh, it's his daughter. Is she the one? You don't know until, further through the movie. But yeah, so, and then when you meet Owen, the main, your protagonist.
Yeah.
You could already tell he's super awkward. And you're just like...
He's, very introverted.
Yeah, he's a super introvert. There's something up with him because he's wearing this mask that distorts one of those clear masks with the paint already on him, so it distorts his face a little bit.
Yeah.
But you can still see through it, those see-through ones. And he's holding a kitchen knife to a mirror, looking at himself, and he's like, "Are you scared, little girl? Huh? Are you scared? Are you scared, little girl?" And I'm like, when I first saw it, I remember I was like, "Man, this kid's got issues." But then it all links in because the bully, when you meet his bully, the bully calls him a little girl, and then when you meet the bully's older brother, the older brother's calling him a little girl, and so it's the whole chain of bullying.
Yeah, eventually it just builds.
It builds because a bully is usually bullying someone smaller than him, because he's being bullied by someone else. I'm just saying he because it's he in the movie. Girls can be bullies too. I would say they're far meaner.
We don't need to make the case. We all get it.
I know, but I'm just saying, honestly, I had a girl bully. She was a lot meaner than the few guy bullies who tried to bully me. So
I had a girl bully too once. She punched me in the stomach.
Yeah, she liked to pull my hair because she hated how curly it was.
She was just jelly.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, so but when you meet the bully, they fucking make you hate the bullies in this movie. They're the trash. The worst of the worst fucking people. Holy crap, they give Owen a wedgie so bad that he pees himself, and then they kick the shit out of him for peeing himself.
It's a really brutal scene.
Yeah, and it gets worse. The bullies get worse and worse. But, so, when you finally meet Chloe, or Abby, Chloe's character, when you meet her, Owen's he buys a pocket knife, and he's stabbing a tree. And he's calling it a little girl and stuff because he's super frustrated about being bullied.
Yeah.
She comes up to him and she just straight up just goes, "We can't be friends," and walks away. And I was like, why the fuck would you say that to someone? You could tell he's having problems. Right. He's upset. And you just run up to him just "We can't be friends. Fuck you," and runs off. But even but I like what his retort to that is I didn't even ask you to be friends.
Yeah.
What makes you think I'd want to be friends?
Burn.
But yeah, but this, yeah. So anyway, I really like like that movie because it starts off with that, but then like as Abby's and Owen's friendship starts to blossom a little bit more because she meets him again the following night anyways. And then they keep bonding over and over, and like you see it like a budding romance, and it's sweet because it's like it's a kid romance kind of too, because like at one point he asks her to go steady with him to be his girlfriend, and she's like, "Why would I want to? Like, would anything change? Like?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't fucking know. No."
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, oh,
we'll
no.
just do the same things that we're always doing. It's just.
Like, you're the first nicest person I've ever had. Like.
So, like, that, I thought that part was really sweet. Even though, like, every time, like, he calls her a girl, she's like, I'm not a girl.
Right.
And he gets so confused. He even asks, like, what are you? And she's like, I don't know. And he doesn't care. Like, and I think that's so awesome.
Like, it's a real sweet moment.
Yeah, because, like, he even, like, at one point, like, he just hugs her. And he's just like, I don't care. Like, I want you as a friend. And it's just the sweetness between the two.
Yeah.
As just, it's so nice and it's cool and like it's so naturally built because I know one of the biggest critiques of this movie is that everyone was like, oh, well, the Swedish one was better how they built the romance, and I was like, yeah, but in this movie they did it really solid, like it was done really, really well.
Yes.
And then when Abby, when she turns like gets all like demonic vampire-y, it's really cool. They do just a little, like, they don't do a whole lot when she turns all, like, feral. Like, they add a little bit of makeup and then contacts, but it's just done really well. And Chloe Moretz, like, Chloe Grace Moretz is so good in this movie. Like, she's such an underrated actress, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, she's a fantastic actress.
She's getting more roles now.
Which is good, because I know she quit acting. She was just over it for a while, but like...
Well, yeah, because she was in a lot of, like, films when she was, like, really young.
Yeah, but anyway, so, like, I really like that, and then, just like your movie, like, there's not a whole lot of blood. Like, you know, it's not super gory, or, like, there's not a whole lot of, like, slashing and stuff, but when there's blood, there's fucking blood. Like, there's this... one scene where she, like, rips this chick's throat out, and it's just gushing blood everywhere. I was like, holy shit!
And also, like, the first kill, like, I would say is, like, a good testament to that, too.
Yeah. So what I like about that first kill is, like, it's... So Richard Jenkins' character, I just call him the caretaker, because you never hear his name.
Yeah.
And so I just kept calling him the caretaker, and, he's alluded to be her dad, but it's spoiled a little early. It's not a spoiler, but it's shown pretty early on that he's not her dad. Like,
but we won't give away who he is just yet.
But so he stabs. How he kills this guy is he like hangs him upside down.
Yeah. And
he just stabs him in his main artery in his throat and just bleeds him like a stuffed pig.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's actually really, really good attention to detail of how we did it. Because, you know, in other movies, we would see him like more than likely they'd slit the wrists or the throat and like try and like finagle it. And it's like, he's experienced, so he knows exactly how to do this.
Yeah.
But he fucks it up because he ends up dropping the jug of blood. And that's when she goes all like mental.
Yeah.
And so she goes mental on him, and she's like, I'm just gonna fucking do it myself. And he like even tells her, he's like, I don't know why I messed up. Like, I think I'm getting tired of this. He's like, I think I'm just done.
Yeah.
Like, you could just see the tiredness and just he's exhaustion.
He's getting tired of killing.
Yep. He's getting tired of killing. He's tired of living that life. And so when she kills her first guy, like, she goes super spider monkey on this guy. And I will say that is probably one of my biggest cons. Is the CG doesn't hold up as good. Like, there's not a whole lot of CG. There's only like legitimately only two scenes.
It's like subtle.
But that first one isn't too bad, but it's when she's in full light climbing a tree. You were like, I was kind of like, that's pretty shoddy.
It's like a Dale Gribble moment, like squirrel tactics.
but no, like, so so what I noticed this is that. This is my theory about this movie. So the whole reason why she starts bonding with Owen is so she can get a new caretaker, because she doesn't start being nice to Owen until that moment.
Yeah.
When the older guy, when Richard Jenkins' character was just like, I think I'm just getting tired of this and stuff, and he messed up, and she was just like, I gotta find someone new. Yeah. So it's like it's a bittersweet thing, because you can tell like through the movie that maybe she actually falls for Owen. Like,
Right.
but you don't know because she's done it for so long when she admits that she's a vampire. And
It's totally like a villain thing.
Yeah, but she bonds with them, like, and he sees like her go mental and feral and all kinds of stuff, but he doesn't care. And I think I think she knows because he keeps asking her, "Why'd you move to this town?" And she never tells him why.
Yeah.
Like, she never reveals why. Even after he fully knows she's a vampire, she never tells him why. And I think it's because like she was drawn there because of him. Because it's a small town. Like, it just happened to be where he is. Like, she didn't know who he was.
Right.
But, small town, when you go to a small town, you're going to find lonely little boys and stuff like that. And she needs a youngin' because she needs him to take care of her for the rest of his life. And, so, like, it's almost bittersweet because, like, you can see him falling for this girl. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care that she's a vampire. Or, like, he wouldn't have even cared if she was a boy or anything. Because she even says, "I'm not a girl." And he's like, "I don't care. I love you." Like, and it's really sweet.
It's kind of like our first, like... Or I wouldn't say first, but, like, a good kind of, like just loving someone for who they are kind of, like, moment. So it's like... I guess my input would be that it's such a hard movie in that because... Owen is this pure light. He just needs some right guidance.
Yeah,
and they
drill that. Yeah, and they drill that home that he just needs some proper guidance.
Yeah,
like when he finally stands up to his bully, best thing ever. Like, I will say, if my kid was getting bullied and I found out this is what he did to his bully, or she.
Oh, you could
don't
say
care.
You could say,
but whatever, like my kid does, if my kid did this to their bully, I'd be like, all right, ice cream for dinner for a month, man. Like, fuck yes, good for you. I mean, first off,
we're gonna live at Disney World for a week.
I wouldn't let it get this far in the first place, but yeah. I would say skip ahead 10 seconds if you don't want to know.
Oh, hold on. Hold on, wait.
Yeah, just because it's what happens and it's awesome.
Are you sure 10 seconds?
Yeah, it's not going to take a whole long. Okay. I'm just saying 10 seconds just because...
We'll give you 15 just to be safe.
All right, fine. And skip ahead 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So they're on this lake, and the bully is pretty much threatening to throw him into the frozen lake because Owen decided he wanted to take ice skating or hockey lessons so he can get tougher. And he just grabs his pole and just bitch slaps the bully right in the side of the head. Oh my god, it's so great. And there's just blood gushing everywhere.
Yeah.
Made you want to read this spoiler. But yeah.
Gotcha, the blood gushing.
If my kid ever did that, I would high five that kid and what do you want for dinner?
I'm gonna take you to a strip bar. Sorry, you're too young for that.
But yeah, and so the thing that sucks, the thing that's cool I liked about this movie, but it's also the thing that sucks is that Owen only felt himself around Abby. And then whenever he's not around Abby, like whenever the movie's following just Owen, like just the worst shit keeps happening to this kid. But he's only in his true like salvation and happiness when he's around Abby. So it's like you feel for him when she there's times that she after they start bonding when she's like, we can't do this anymore, and she walks away. And but the thing is that sucks also with when she keeps doing that stuff to him. It makes him want her more. You can tell throughout the whole movie. Because it's the first good connection he had with someone that wasn't his parents.
Right.
And they play a huge factor in the movie. Not a huge factor, but you can tell they're a factor of how he acts in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and especially when he talks to his dad, that scene fucked me up.
That was rough,
when he's talking to his dad on the phone, I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough scene.
Yeah. And then and the movie foreshadows so much stuff that happens, throughout from the beginning, because it does the 2 weeks earlier and stuff like that, and then all the way through the movie, you see small hints of foreshadowing of what's going to happen to certain people and stuff. And I caught it the second time around, even the bullies.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to them, you can kind of see the foreshadowing with certain things that how they interact with Owen and then what Owen does back.
Yeah.
It's so good. And honestly, yes, I will admit the Swedish version is better because they're a little bit more lax, I would say, with showing intimacy with, I'm not going to say minors, but younger people, in a sense, because there's a scene. The biggest scene that got changed because so in the American remake, the vampire gets Abby gets completely undressed because she just got done murdering someone in Owen's room. But Owen's eyes are turned away from her, so he never sees her naked. He just ends up feeling that she's naked.
Yeah.
But she hops in bed, and that's the American version. But in the Swedish version, they're in a pool naked together, and they're both naked in the pool. And it's not that they want to have sex. It's just that's how they're intimate with each other. Because they don't know what. Well, he doesn't know.
Well, it's a connection. They just have a connection. It's nothing intimate about it. It's just it's that connection. And
so that's what I really like about this movie is that they show this they show it with the other kids, and they do it in such a great good way. So I highly recommend this movie. It's not a super scary movie. It has moments. But I don't know. I would say I really recommend it. It's super good. It's definitely one of the better American remakes. But the thing that I hate about the fact, no one talks about this movie, but everyone talks about because everyone still just talks about The Ring, The Grudge, and and then some of the terrible movie remakes that we're gonna talk about on the Monday episode.
That
just a little bit.
We already did. So
yes. No, we already said that we recorded this one first.
I know.
Oh, okay.
But they'll obviously listen to the Monday episode one before this one.
Yeah, that's true. That we did talk about. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a brain. Oh god. But yeah, this is such a good movie. And my biggest con, and I know some people are gonna say it's a pro, is the cop. Because I can't tell if he's just... And it pisses me off because I usually catch on these things. And I'm fairly certain I'm thinking too much into it. But so I can't tell if the cop is just a cop. And because it's a small town, he thinks there's a cult. Or if the cop is a part of a secret organization hunting vampires.
Oh.
Because he's the only one that keeps asking about Abby.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who she is.
Right.
He knows she exists.
Yeah.
From her caretaker's death.
Yeah.
Because she's the daughter. Because she tries to go visit him, after you see what happens. Which, when he gets burned by acid, holy shit, that entire scene's so fucking intense.
Yeah.
And then there's this car crash scene that's super intense. And I like how they did this. It's just a beautifully shot movie. So, there's this car scene where you're sitting in the back seat of the car.
Yeah.
That's where the camera is. And it's you're in the car accident.
Yeah.
And it's super freaking intense.
That whole first-person view.
Yeah, and it's you're sitting in it. You're not doing the first person of someone who's in the car. It's you're in the car with them.
Yeah.
And the entire time I was grabbing the chair. I was oh my god! These first-person crash scenes are great.
Yeah.
But yeah, she goes and visits her caretaker, and she says she's his daughter, and then the cop picks up on it, and he mumbles a couple things that makes me think that he's a part of a secret organization, but this is the one thing that pisses me off because I don't know. And I'm going to go watch this movie again to see it. But yeah, highly recommend this movie. Especially because if American remakes of foreign films, I know we have our elitists that are the American versions are always trash. This is such a good American adaptation.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit away from the Swedish one, but not as much. And also, you should watch this movie, especially if you're a gorehound, just for the final 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The pool scene.
Oh man, the pool scene.
Yeah.
Such an iconic scene.
Yeah, it's so good. So if you haven't seen either version, I would actually recommend watching the American version first and then go back and watch the Swedish one.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I do agree that the Swedish one is a better movie. But as an American adaptation of a foreign film, the Let Me In is fantastic, and I really do believe it doesn't get talked about as much.
Well, and I made it because Aaron was actually asking me about it because I've seen it too, what the difference is, and to add on to what you're talking about, what I think makes this not essentially better but great on its own is that I feel the American version is a more fastly paced.
Yeah.
Than the original Swedish version, because the Swedish version,
funny.
Which obviously, the Swedish version is going to be great, it's going to be better, whatever. Yeah. But it is a very more of a slow burn.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that the American version is 1 minute longer.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's probably because of extra credits.
yeah.
I think that one guy.
But yeah, no. If you want,
there's a credit saying and yes, this is Richard Jenkins.
But yeah, no, go watch this movie. It's a fantastic movie. I cannot rave about it enough. I remember loving this. and then just like after I saw it the first time, let it
Yeah.
sit in, and then I really enjoyed it, and then watching it a second time, like I fucking love this movie.
Well, and it's also like on one end, it's also like a great metaphor for like toxic like relationships.
Yeah.
and also it's also a good vampire flick.
It is a good vampire flick, and the thing that I like about the way the vampire is done in this one is she doesn't have the fucking vampire teeth.
Right, and usually that's like a con against like vampires in films.
Because like, I think it's better. It fits this movie better because when you see her go feral and visceral, like it makes it so much more intense, knowing that she's not just biting them and sucking their blood.
Like she's literally going through the throat, the veins, just blah.
Just like squirting blood everywhere.
Yeah.
So, some trivia about this movie. Elias Cotees, who plays the police detective, also provides the voice of Owen's father, John. I fucking knew it. I was like, man, that sounds familiar. Okay. The trash bag that Richard Jenkins wears over his head in the murder scenes was the actor's idea. That's actually kind of cool.
Wow.
Fucking, you go, Richard Jenkins. That definitely made those scenes a lot more intense. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that one. Oh, director Matt Reeves modeled the physical appearance and personality of Abby, Chloe Grace Moretz, after seeing photos of a 12-year-old homeless girl taken by Mary Ellen Mark. Moretz said the sadness of her character was decided on by her and Reeves after seeing the photos, which I like, especially because like her character needed to look that sad.
Yeah.
So like,
It's a tragic character.
Yep. The word vampire is only said once in the film. And this was a cool fact that I had in my notes after rereading it. You never see Owen's mother's face. Except in her driver's license photo. And then when she's way, way far off in the back. Because when he sits in the beginning, when he sits at the table with her, they purposely blur out, like, because it's showing her face right then and there, but it's all blurred out in the background. Owen's the only thing in focus.
Well, and that's what's really cool about it. It's also like a great kind of like message of how non in Owen's life his parents are, including his mom. Like his mom's there as a caretaker herself, but like, she's not really involved in his life.
Yeah, and just like
Abby's
caretaker.
Exactly.
Yep. Let's see.
Can I point out one?
Yes.
The Morse code message shown at the end of it. Oh, I thought it was really cool. Well, the Morse code message shown at the end of the official trailer spells out the words "Help me." I thought that was kind of rad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's cool. Oh yeah, despite being asked twice by Owen, Abby never reveals her true age.
Yeah.
So, okay, this ties into another one. Another thing. So, there's a deleted scene showing Abby being attacked as a human. So, it's where she gets turned into a vampire. And so, I think as much as Matt Reeves really wanted to show that film in the film, or show that scene in the film, he did say that it would disrupt the flow, which I agree, because then it also doesn't it would give away her age in a sense, like her real age.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool, because like the closest thing you get to what her actual age is by seeing a super old time photo of when Richard Jenkins' character was 12 years old.
Yeah, so like
it's the only one.
So if this movie was set in, well, no, because
it was 2010.
What movie was it set in though? I think it was the 80s. I want to say it was the 80s.
This movie?
Yeah.
No.
When was it set in?
It's like maybe 90s.
So if it was in the 90s and Richard Jenkins was playing an old character,
okay.
It would have had to been like what, the 50s or 60s? No, it would have to be earlier than that, like 40s or 30s, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
This is weird. Despite being at odds and antagonizing each other throughout the film, Cody Smith McPhee, Owen, and Dylan Minette, his bully, do not exchange lines of dialogue until over an hour into the film.
Wow.
Damn.
No, wait. Yeah. Oh, actually, hold on. Really quick. So, at around 6 minutes, a speech that President Ronald Reagan is giving on the television in the hospital. So Ronald Reagan is on. President. So, okay.
It's 70s then.
So if it's in the 70s, then that must mean that Richard Jenkins, and they could be from
Oh, they're from the 40s.
No, dude.
No, early 20s, 10s.
No, yeah, it would have to be like,
Damn.
yeah. So, oh man, we figured it.
Science, solving shit out.
What do?
Yeah.
What the Punkrockhorror podcast is actually adding more valuable values into your daily life. What? Not really though. Kind of. Yeah. Whatever.
Anyways,
so
yeah, we go watch this movie. It's a really good movie. It's like it's good and it aged really, really well.
Yeah.
Like I know, like saying it aged well when it's only a 9-year-old movie. Like
Right.
with how fast technology progressed from
yeah,
when
it's like
this movie
almost
was
been a
made.
decade, man. Or it actually has been a decade. If it's when it came out, 2010.
10.
Okay, yeah,
Close
so
to a
it's
decade.
almost been a decade. My bad.
Like for close to, it's a really good movie. It aged really well. The blood is really great when it happens, and there's this super fucking intense scene in the hospital.
yeah.
Like that's also kind of part of my con, but at the same, I'm not gonna say it because it's a really fucking intense scene, and I don't want to spoil what happens.
And you've given enough.
Yeah.
I think they get the picture at this
Yeah,
point, though. Like
that's
we
true.
do got to start wrapping it up,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So first thing is if you want to follow us, and again, apologize if there wasn't a listener participation corner this week. We do apologize, but when we do a listener participation corners, if you want to be part of that and give your input on our discussions, please like us and follow us on Facebook or like us and follow us on Twitter at officialprhp, and you can find us on Facebook at punkrockhorrorpodcast or
on Instagram, Punk Rock Horror Podcast, hashtag PRHP Podcast.
If you want to consider supporting the show and supporting some indie horror creators, please go over to our Patreon and consider at least being a $2 a month supporter. You get amazing rewards. You get access to episodes before anyone else. You get a shout out on the podcast, and you also get access to our bonus show, the Punk Rock Half Hour of Power, where this discussion is always continued by the amazing Lala and the guests that she brings on her show. Also, being on top of that, we have new merch out. We have mugs available for purchase. They're fantastic looking. They're great. They're badass. And they have a great saying on the back, too, to kind of tell all your annoying coworkers to leave you alone when you're trying to drink coffee in the morning and you're not ready to be social yet. So please go over to our Teespring account. You can see all these links below in our episode notes or details. Also, to remind you again, we have another show coming out. So it's kind of like the perfecting trio of the Justice League of Horror here, where we have Erin, the Mad Pooper, McGarry, coming on, and she's going to be hosting her own show called the Paranormal Princess Podcast. So we've talked about it on Monday, but please stay tuned. It's going to be coming out here near the end of July. It'll be available through us. It's going to be the Punk Rock Horror Podcast presents the Paranormal Princess Podcast. So stay tuned for it. It's going to be great. With that being said, please like us and follow. You can find me on Instagram at The Undead Mad. Again, all these links are below. And thank you again, ghouls and gals, for tuning in, for all your support. And we will talk about horror with you next time. All right. Bye.
Bye.